Hello everyone, my name is Enigma Shade. This video is a prologue to other videos I will make in the future to help you learn how to write creatively. I will cover the basics of writing in this video, but if there is a specific area of writing, like characterization, symbolism, or dialogue, please let me know through a message or comment. In case you're wondering, Shade, why would I listen to you? What do you know about writing? I'm 18 years old. This probably doesn't help my case in any way, shape, or form, but I have been writing for nearly 12 years. I was 6 and a half when my second grade teacher got me started in creative writing. When I was a freshman in high school, I started writing poetry and horror fiction. Today I'm a high school graduate, writing anything from gothic horror, similar to William Faulkner or Edgar Allan Poe, to MLP fanfics. Of course, I will never consider myself as masterful as these awesome authors, but having many people read and enjoy my works, I rest confident that I can help at least someone learn to harness their inner writer. The first topic we should cover is your desire to write. If you expect all of your ideas to just magically appear on paper, then you really don't want to write. If you don't have that issue, then the first thing you need to do is stop making excuses. Don't say you're too angry to write, don't say you're too sad to write, don't say you're too busy to write. Instead, set a time of day anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to just sit down and write. If you're too angry, then channel that anger into your story. Same thing with any other emotion that you think might excuse you from writing. Don't get up and procrastinate during this time. Just sit down and write, even if it's just flowing your thoughts into the paper. Let your writing flow, and if your time is up and you haven't finished writing down all of your ideas, then keep writing until they're all on paper. You don't want to lose a single idea. All in all, you have to want to write, and you may have to make schedules for your writing. Don't procrastinate, and don't make excuses. One issue many young writers have to go through is disappointment. I know I've had my share of disappointments putting hours, days, and weeks into a story and getting a bad review or not getting any readers. Or, what's worse, getting no reviews at all. As a writer, this is hell. But don't give up. If nobody is reading, then write for yourself. Eventually, someone will come along who will want to read your story, but you may have to be proactive in trying to sell your story. At times, I kind of force my friends to read my story just so I can get a better review than "it was good." And let me tell you, that is the worst review ever. Also, if you get a bad review, don't get all depressed and quit writing. Instead, take that criticism, even if the reviewer is just a dick, and use it to make your writing better. If someone says your characterization is off, then you have something to work on now, don't you? One huge topic you should really get into is basic English, grammar, and structure. While, yes, it is creative writing, you don't want to drive a potential reader away with horrifying grammar and a terrible sentence structure. This is the backbone of your story, and if you build your story without a backbone, it's going to topple. If you are in college or high school, then pay attention in all of your English classes. You may even be able to ask your teachers or fellow classmates to read your story for sentence errors and spelling. And remember, writing in accents does not excuse bad grammar. If you have a redneck character, write the dialogue with an accent, but do not carry that accent or bad grammar into the rest of the story. If you're thinking about taking a creative writing course, don't. I probably sound like I'm giving bad advice, but trust me. I've taken many creative writing classes, and only one had any good advice at all. The other 3 or 4 classes I took tried to take the creative out of creative writing. One class in particular, I remember telling us that we had to write our stories a specific way. Character runs into problem. Character overcomes problem. Character runs into bigger problem. Character must have trouble overcoming this bigger problem. Sorry, but this takes all possible creativity out of the story. What if the next planned struggle was smaller than the first struggle? Many great works would not exist had the author taken this class. Now, the only exception I would say is if you've been recommended to a class. I know I've recommended several people to one class I mentioned earlier that gave actual good advice. Otherwise, the classes are only good for feedback from fellow writers. I hope I helped someone with this small tutorial. If you would like a more specific tutorial on a more specific area of writing you are struggling with, then send me a message or write a comment on this video. Remember, everybody can write. There's an artist from China named Wang Guofu who was born with no arms. Of course, I probably mispronounced his name, but as you can see, he's a marvelous artist, and he painted all of his works using only his mouth and his feet. If he can do this, you can write a story. Until next time, my name is Enigma Shade, and I will see you later.